Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. In today's video, we are going to be talking about, well, the Pokemon DLC. First off, I am 100% excited for this DLC. I am really glad that we are finally going to be getting a game, well, new information for Pokemon that could have just been DLC, and it is actually just DLC. Now, I don't know too much about how the DLC works, whether you have to buy two versions of it, depending on whether or not you have the so that you can get both versions if you have Sword and Shield. Hopefully, it's just the one. And I'm also uncertain if you get it on your Switch in general, if it will actually allow you to play it on any version of your account, or any account that you have on your system. Such as for me, I have my Japanese version of the gameplay, as well as my English playthrough, which was what was going to be my Nuzlocke that I failed. But anyways, guys, I don't know. I honestly don't. But the simple fact of the matter is that we are going to be having a whole bunch of new games, new gameplay to play with. First off, we have to look at what we are getting. First of all, we are getting an entirely new open world area. And it's different depending on which version of the game that you get. But honestly, that's fine to me. Being able to actually have a different world and different outfits depending on which game you get, honestly, that's probably a better way to use the different games. Considering the fact that as of right now, the only difference between the two games are the Pokemon that you catch, honestly, I think that's a good idea. Giving us more of a difference between the two games, and it actually helps Pokemon to sell more copies of both copies of the game. Because this way, Pokemon can still get people who may have only bought one game, such as myself, who only bought Pokemon Sword, might go back and buy Pokemon Shield because they want to see what the other half of the game is like in the DLC. Now, obviously, there are a lot of new Pokemon, such as, of course, new Galar forms. It hasn't been completely obvious how many new Pokemon there are. However, it has been revealed that several legendaries will be returning, with some being Galarian forms of Pokemon, such as the most likely the Regis and the mythical birds. But I'm actually a bit more curious about the Regis. The simple fact of the matter is that the Regis aren't exactly the most clear. First off, there is an electric Regi that is being shown, as well as what appears to be a dragon Regi. Now, there's obviously a few other differences here and there, but the main thing, like I said, is that there is an electric Regi and a dragon Regi. Those two, especially, do not seem like they would be Galarian forms of these Regis, of Registeel, Regirock, and Regigigas, and also Regice. I always forget Regice for some reason. But the simple fact of the matter is that these two specifically seem like they could be completely new legendaries. This is actually something that I've actually kind of been wanting for a little while, because, quite honestly, certain mythical and legendary Pokemon simply don't make sense for why there's only these specific three. For example, the the Lake Guardians. Those guys, it makes sense. They're just those three, and they are only at that one area. And as for the Regis, that actually doesn't make sense because they are technically man-made, made from steel, rock, and ice. But honestly, it seems odd that they wouldn't have more forms. Like, honestly, it's kind of hard to explain, but there are other elements in this game. There's no Regifire, there's no Regiwater, there's no just ice, kind of. But the point is, there are all of these Regis, but there's still something missing. So perhaps there's going to be new ones. And the same can be said for the beasts and the birds. Why is it just these three? Why is it just these legendary beasts, a water, I think fire and electric? But then for the birds, it's ice, fire, and electric. Again, everything is the same except for water and ice get swapped. And the Regis, it's changing like a lot. But that's beside the point. The only one that's actually staying the same for that is ice, staying with the one. And that's pretty much it. So I am intrigued to see what exactly they're going to be going with for this new game. And I'm also kind of intrigued to see what exactly they're going to be doing with the legendaries. Because it seems like they're going to be taking the legendaries that are already in the games, the Zamazenta and Zacian, and they're going to make them different. They're going to give them a Gigantamax form, but they're also creating these two new legendaries. So what exactly is going on? There's now going to be an armor Pokemon and a crown Pokemon? Very interesting. And that actually leads me to wonder if perhaps there are 4 kings or 4 brothers that became the one, or that eventually it became one kingdom, and that's why we have Galar. Or perhaps these two kings of both nations actually split off, and that's why we have, and it's basically the equivalent of Ireland and England. Definitely a possibility, and I'm actually intrigued to see what you guys think. Unfortunately, I don't really have too much else to talk about for this new update, DLC, whatever you want to call it, but I am intrigued to see what they're going to do with it, and perhaps once it comes out, I will be getting it, but it's not something that I'm going to be pre-ordering like I did with Kingdom Hearts 3. But anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of all of this stuff, and of course, let me know any theories that you have down in the comments below. We will be going back to the Miraculous theory soon, so I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell. And if you want to support the channel even more, then definitely head down to the description and check out all of my links down there. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!